Welcome back. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about focus and avoiding distractions and why that's so important to completing artwork, delivering on time for projects and clients. And so when we become more aware of what we're giving our focus to, then it allows us to achieve and get into what I call the zone, ebb and flow, whatever you want to nickname it, that part where you start to feel like the lines are moving in the right direction, or even if they're not, you feel very capable of problem solving. You just feel in the moment. It feels like deep work. I love that term because I think that there's levels to, you can think that you're working on something. Two people are working on different things and they think that they're both in it at the same level, and they're not. There's deeper levels of work. There's superficial levels of work. And so, and you can feel it. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. It's like you feel like you're in the zone and time moves differently, all right? So, but to achieve that, I think, for me personally, is I have to eliminate the distractions. I have to take away all the variables. And one of the tricky parts about being somebody that makes content on YouTube, I've become acutely aware of when I'm recording a process and drawing, I'm thinking differently. And when I'm narrating as I draw in real time, I'm thinking differently. There's more going on. I mean, right now even as I'm narrating over the top of a video, there's a camera over the art, there's a mic in my face, there's multiple screens, there's recording software, there's variables, right? There's things to consider. And because of that, it's more likely to be harder for me to be as deep into the work and as focused. It's also why at times, I just record just the art. And there's times when I don't record the art at all. And I can feel a very different experience. So, I don't know if I suffer from some ADHD or whatever. I don't like labels and things like that. I imagine we all have varying degrees of all these things. But at the same time, I do know one thing. I know that whatever I suffer from in my world, it's better when I shut all the other stuff off. It gets, marginally to excessively better. It's never not measurable. That's the main thing. There's not a time when I don't shut it all off, including music, by the way. Like just sitting there in dead silence and drawing. I actually like music. It stimulates me and gets me, I think it helps me achieve a zone-like feel, gets me excited to draw. I think, because I've associated it for so long to me drawing anyways. But there's a time when I shut it all off, especially if my mind is just bouncing around. Like I need less information coming in. I need to, instead of being a receiver, I need to be on output. Instead of noise, I need clarity and focus. And so all I'm saying is that, we're in this hyper state of inputs in today's world. And if you're feeding it the wrong way as well, so not only are you maybe, and I'm not casting judgment, I'm saying this in a way where hopefully it comes across as this is what's working for me. And if you're struggling to finish pieces and get work into your portfolio, or you're behind on deadlines for a client, then I know it's probably pretty obvious, but I'm just sharing it just because. So then it might be you just need to take a break from all the stimulation. And you got to realize too that these algorithms, these softwares like the Facebooks and the Instagrams, even the YouTube and all the TikToks and the shorts and all that stuff, right? Short content, put it this way, short content has taken over dramatically since what, 2-3 years ago? I mean, it's not like it just came out, but it started to take over, right? And then everybody jumped ship and started to do short content, right? So why do you think that is? They're trying to match what the consumer behaviors are, and there's a sort of degradation in focus that would correlate with that, right? I think. I mean, these are my opinions, by the way, and you're welcome to challenge me. I love the back and forth and the dialogue, so you give me your own thoughts. But I think there's a degradation in focus, and that's why they all started fighting over the gold rush of shorts. And so being a consumer, because we all are, whether or not, we try not to think of ourselves like consumers, but most of us, we're just in a very consumer, consumerism behavior, but we're in the market, right? We're part of the market of consumerism. It's just the way it is. And so unless you're really good at tuning this stuff all out and not looking, or looking in small integers, small amounts of time, then you could have an issue with it. You could check your screen time, stuff like that. I like to just shut it all off and see how I feel, and then immediately I'm like, wow, I feel a lot better. It's almost like it becomes meditation to not have any of it on, which is strange because I remember trying meditation back in the day, and it was insanely hard for me to do. It still is, but now it's almost like the meditation becomes, we'll just shut off all the different screens and the social medias and different stuff. So again, as somebody recording video, I even notice the difference when I have a recording going and I'm trying to draw, because again, it's more that my brain has to sort of process and be bouncing around from this to that to that. And we tend to think of ourselves like we are really good at multitasking. You'll hear people say that, oh man, I'm great at multitasking. But science says we're not. And I actually believe that part of science. I think that there's something I heard about it. We're actually not good at multitasking. You can be a little bit more efficient at switching tasks, but that's essentially what your brain's doing. It's switching in between tasks. And there's actually a delay in a ghosting effect, or whatever you want to call it, where it doesn't just switch right away. It has to come into the new. Some of the old data is in your mind, and then you're having to work into the new stuff. So there's no multitasking. And so when you hear something like that, it's like, well, goodness, do I want to do amazing art? Do I want to be right here, present in the moment, or do I want to be trying to do 5 things poorly? And then when it comes into social media content, it's like, do I want social media just pinging me and telling me there's this and that, and I'm bouncing around to whatever? Or do I want to be actionable and then search for the things I'm looking for? One thing I like about YouTube in comparison to this is you go there, and if you don't look at the feed, you search for what you're looking for. And you might get bombarded with ads, but that's about it. You're at least proactive in the way that you're finding the data that you want to learn that day. So to me, that's a lot more of someone in control of their focus and what they're looking to learn. But even that, you have to make sure that you don't go down some rabbit hole of going from one thing to the next. Again, sort of being stimulated. And even education can do that. So you learn something on a video, gets you excited, now you want to learn more, and all of a sudden, again, a rabbit hole effect of pinging from one thing to the next, just because you're in that zone of feeling like you're growing and learning, and that can be exciting. Now, a better way to measure that is take whatever it is that you set out to learn that day, consume whatever it is you find, one video. Maybe you give yourself a limit of 2 at the most, just so you're getting different perspectives on the same topic. But then you stop, you shut it all off, and you apply it. And that's how you always know if you're finding good knowledge through this pursuit. What are you actually applying? Did it change you? Did it make you better? Did you actually stop to use it? Because that's truly what becomes part of you, right? The things that you actually implement, that you do after the fact. Learning is great. I love learning, but it can sometimes be this idea of feeling like we're learning. We're acquiring all this new knowledge and all this data, right? It feels really good to do that. But then we don't do the application. The application is where you commit it to muscle memory and all sorts of deeper associations neurologically, probably, that I know nothing about. But I'm just saying that I know the part where when you actually implement it, then it becomes a story. Then it becomes something that you can tell others and go, yeah, I know how to do this thing now. But it's not really just hearing the data. In fact, a lot of times, try watching a video and then recalling it months later, and then rewatch the video. You'll realize that you lost a bunch of it, or maybe that's just me, but you'll lose a bunch of it because you didn't implement it. Now you start implementing it, and especially weekly or daily, and all of a sudden you become a master of it, right? It's a very different part of the process. So anyways, just be careful of not being in that continual state of feeling like you're moving, feeling like you're growing. I think that can actually lead to a little bit of anxiety, because deep down wait a second, I'm not doing the part that makes it real work, deep work, and obviously builds your focus while doing that. So thanks so much for watching the channel. I hope you enjoyed today's video. More on the way soon. Good luck with your art, and bye for now.